The massive Republican civil war happening right now within MAGA is leading to some very, very interesting moments that I need to share with you here. So let's start with this. So Laura Loomer, who of course is a massive ally of President Trump, she somehow is like the Rasputin of 2025. She like snuggled up to the leader. Remember when there were allegations that her and Trump were involved in that kind of way, if you know what I'm saying, right? Well, anyway, she came out and tweeted the following. She says, "I'm going to say it. The GOP has a Nazi problem. And the more we pretend like we don't, the worse it's going to get. We do. Don't tell me that we don't." She continues, "People can get mad at me for saying this, but it's true. I have no problem with people criticizing Israel." Sure. I even said end aid to Israel. But let's admit this isn't about Israel. When you have top podcasters saying Jewish Americans are disloyal, saying Trump is controlled by Jews, saying Jews need to self-deport to Israel, Gen Z glorifying Hitler and doing Zig Heils all over TikTok, Tucker Carlson infiltrating movements to say the people who killed Jesus killed Charlie Kirk at Charlie's memorial, and acceptance of videos portraying Jews as cockroaches, and glorification of people who go around saying the N-word and calling Jews Kikes, and saying Hitler is cool, and we should have let him win World War II, that is a Nazi problem. I'm not gonna lie, she's starting to spit here. If the GOP doesn't address this, then they deserve to lose the midterms. And yes, it will cost us the midterms. Hitler LARPing and obsessively talking about Israel doesn't appeal to everyday Americans. Telling Christian Zionists they are the worst people in the world isn't going to win elections. Good luck losing in 2026 and 2028. There is zero moral clarity in the GOP right now. We have a Nazi problem in the GOP, and the Muslims on the left are loving this because they too want to spew Nazi rhetoric against Jews. Hitler LARPing and obsessively talking about Israel doesn't appeal to everyday Americans. Telling Christian Zionists they are the worst people in the world isn't going to win elections. Good luck losing in 2026 and 2028. There is zero moral clarity in the GOP right now. We have a Nazi problem in the GOP, and the Muslims on the left are loving this because they too want to spew Nazi-like rhetoric against Jews. Get mad at me for saying this. I do not care because it's true. Global Jewry is a Nazi talking point. It has nothing to do with foreign policy. I will not unite with this, and neither will majority of the GOP base. We are likely going to lose the midterms over nihilistic Nazi love fest. I'll be here to say, I told you so. Damn. She's half right, half wrong. The part where she's correct is the Republican Party absolutely has a Nazi problem. When there are group chats that leak with young Republicans who are 40 and under saying things like, I love Hitler, or saying things like, send them to the gas chamber, or saying things like, I have a Nazi streak, that's a Nazi problem. When Nick Fuentes is like the number one rising star among the right-wing pundits, that's a Nazi problem. This isn't even, like, it's just obviously true. The part where she's wrong is when she says, this isn't even about Israel. I think you're allowed to criticize Israel and we wouldn't call you Nazis. But you do that. You do that. Anybody on the left, how many times have you heard, there's an anti-Semitism problem on the left? And then who do they point to? They point to people who have like only criticized the Israeli government, called what they're doing a genocide, and said, I'm against that, right? So you call Ilhan Omar an anti-Semite. You call Rashida Tlaib an anti-Semite. You call people who are clearly not anti-Semitic anti-Semites. And so you sort of screwed the pooch here, didn't you? Because it's the boy who cried wolf when it comes to anti-Semitism. You screamed anti-Semitism over and over and over, and it was totally untrue against the left. Now there's real anti-Semitism on the right, and when you correctly say, there's anti-Semitism, they go, fuck you, who cares? Like, shut the fuck up, we don't believe you. You've been saying it forever about everybody, why would we believe you now? So that's the half right, that's the half wrong. Now here's the other problem. You're part of the Nazi problem. See, this is the thing. I've been saying this for a while now about the Republican Civil War. Your options are you with the side that loves the old Holocaust or the side that loves the new Holocaust? Are you with the pro-Hitler side or are you with the pro-Netanyahu side? And Netanyahu is modern-day Hitler, by the way. So which side are you with? Those are your options. And the problem with Laura Loomer and Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin and all these people is that they spent years making the argument, hey, fuck the black people. They're lazy welfare queens, right? Fuck Hispanics. They're the immigrants. They're fucking coming here and stealing your jobs and stealing your welfare and all that stuff. Fuck gay people. They shouldn't have a right to get married. Fuck trans people. They shouldn't even, that's a fucking degenerate lifestyle and it's nonsense. It's sinful. It should be banned. And fuck Muslims because, they're fucking violent and their holy book preaches to do evil things. They said all that, but then at the end they go, but there's one group you can never say fuck you to, and that's my group, Jewish people. Tee-hee-hee. Well, bro, you opened the door to the hateful, vile, bigoted rhetoric against every other group. Of course that was going to come for you eventually. All Nick Fuentes did is he came along and said, I agree with everything you just said, and +1. Also, fuck the Jews. And by the way, that's actually not true because there's one other, too, he says fuck you to, and it's Indians. So, you know, the side of Laura Loomer or the side of Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro in particular, they're kind of okay with Indians because, like, hey, if you're Dinesh D'Souza and you're a right-wing hack, but you're India, who cares? They don't care. But to the Groypers, no, they'd start throwing slurs at these people immediately and say, get the fuck out of our country, even if you agree with us. That's why Vivek Ramaswamy, if you read his comments, it's a whole bunch of Nazis saying Nazi-ass shit. Dinesh D'Souza, same thing. And now they're going, oh, gosh golly, where did all this racism come from on the right? It's always been there. It was just pointed at black and Hispanic people before, and it was bigotry towards gay and trans people before, and you loved it. So it really is boy who cried wolf type shit. It really is. But having said that, does the right have a Nazi problem? You bet your fucking ass cheeks. Of course they have a Nazi problem. It is fundamentally different. On the left, when we criticize Israel, we are criticizing Israel. We are criticizing Zionism. We are criticizing the concept of an ethno-state, which is anti-secular democracy by its very nature. That's what we're doing. We are pro-Jew and anti-Israel. We are pro-Jew and anti-Zionist. That's what we are. On the right, no, they're anti-Israel, and it stems from their anti-Semitism, right? That's what it is. But just to show you how much she has added to this problem over the years, and now, of course, she's super fucking concerned about it, but Keith Edwards says, baby, you're one of the Nazis. So Laura Loomer had tweeted, this was on June 30th, not that long ago, this summer. She tweeted, alligator lives matter. The good news is alligators are guaranteed at least 65 million meals if we get started now. As this person points out on Blue Sky, the entire Latino population in the U.S. is 65 million. She means all of us. Legal, illegal, doesn't matter. Do you have brown skin? Are you Hispanic? Well, you should be fed to alligators at Alligator Alcatraz. And people got mad at us when we correctly called it Alligator Auschwitz, that was the idea. That's what they want in their heart of hearts. So Laura Loomer, feed every Hispanic, feed every Latino in this country to alligators, killing them at a death camp. Oh, we have a Nazi problem here. You don't say. You don't say. One of those Nazis, it goes by the name Laura Loomer. She just happens to be a Jewish Nazi. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Here's another one for you. When she went after Jasmine Crockett recently, remember? Jasmine Crockett's at Jasmine for US homeboys and homegirls are big mad I called her what she is, ghetto. I guess I finna watch my back. God forbid Shaniqua pops a cap in my ass. You feels me? Jesus Christ. Why not just do a minstrel show? Why not just do blackface and do a minstrel show at this point? Again, as I said, for Laura Loomer, the hate is fine all day, every day for everybody except Jews. Don't you dare say anything negative about Jews. So, you made your bed, now you're sleeping in it. And left of center, we have never been more vindicated in history than we are right now. Everybody, every liberal, every leftist in this country, this has one day after another, just vindication, vindication, vindication. We're right about everything, but people are finally starting to realize it. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.